The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet, with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not. And thanks to our friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated across the United States of America into 12 million additional households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Well, we're moving into the Memorial Day weekend here in the United States. And I know it's a day to go to the beach. It's the unofficial start of summer. It's the weekend to do some barbecuing and all that. But let's not forget that this is a day when we remember those men and women who in years past put their lives on the line, some of them paying the ultimate sacrifice for this country. And I know those of you who are joining us from other countries have similar commemorations, and rightly so, where you live as well. So we thought it would be very apropos to bring in today's guest. Every day, it seems, nearly every day anyway, in the news media, we see or hear or read about how veteran stress cases are up or how deployments are ripping families apart. All the while, according to the reports, the military and the military families are passively standing by. Well, I am pleased to say that that's not exactly the case. Mike Schindler, our guest today, is founder of an organization called Operation Military Family. And he's going to talk to us about how families are taking action and how the government and the military are doing things for our returning veterans. You know, there's a lot of stress on these families. There's stress when somebody goes into military duty to begin with because they get deployed, they're separated from their families. And when you are in a combat situation, Iraq or Afghanistan, or in years past, other combat situations, that gives additional stress to a family. And of course, this particular war, because the military is so short in staffing, relatively speaking, while trying to prosecute this war, many people are being sent back for additional tours of duty. You get your loved one back in one piece, and you breathe a sigh of relief. You thank him or her for his or her service to the country, but personally, you're very happy that they're back. Thank God. You pray to God your thanks, and then the next thing you know, they get a redeployment back into the field of combat. Very, very difficult on the families. Well, Schindler's been working with this for such a long time that he's actually written a book to help families. It's called Operation Military Family, How to Strengthen Your Military Marriage and Save Your Family. In it, he interviewed numerous families, chaplains, therapists, government officials, and he helps them by pointing out to people the key resources and programs that are in place in an effort to strengthen military marriages. So we are just so pleased to welcome Mike Schindler to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Hey, thank you, Gary. It's good to be here, and it's my honor.
Well, it's an honor to have you here, and our mutual friend Captain Richard sends his regards. Actually, he's heading out your way Saturday, tomorrow. And I understand you've got a big fundraiser, and he's going to show up with his lady love and break bread with you guys and maybe take you out for a sail if he feels up to it. He had an operation, as you know, and he's recovering. So he's real excited about seeing you, and he is the guy. That's my friend Captain Richard Astelos, who put me in touch with the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund that my audience knows a lot about. We had Ollie North on here on a previous broadcast to talk about their good works helping the returning soldiers, some of whom come back in not the same condition as they left. But your charge is related but a little bit different. I want to tell you a story. Coincidentally, I have some friends. They are a couple. They live extremely close to where you are right now. And in fact, I'm going to give you a phone number after the show for them. He is, as you were, a Navy man. He's deployed now on an aircraft carrier. And the stress of that situation, and let me tell you, I don't know, where did you, where were you assigned when you were in the Navy?
Well, this was years ago. I was down in California out of Concord, so I was at the Naval Weapons Station out of Concord, California.
Right. Well, at least you were stateside. My understanding is that other than the guys and gals who go submerge in those submarines, which is an extremely stressful operation, those aircraft carriers, I mean, it's everything is choreographed exactly to the second. And if somebody screws up, many lives could be lost. Imagine one of those jets missing the wire or otherwise crashing on landing. I mean, it's an extremely high stress. Anyway, this family is under extreme pressure. She called his chief, and the chief said, "Oh, I'll talk to him, and you are not the first call. I have about a dozen guys under my command whose families are just unraveling because of the stress." I would presume, Mike Schindler, this story that I'm telling you anecdotally is not an unusual one to you at all.
Well, it's not. It's something that seems to become more and more frequent every time we sit down with somebody, and we hear these stories a lot, and it's really unfortunate. And I think some of the things that we can do is prepare them on the front end as far as what to expect. And I think that's part of the way to really slow some of the bleeding is to